Brothers and sisters, this entire planet, I want to come to you today and share a concept that have pronounced itself on me very recently. And it's really making me happy in a weird way. Some might say it's weird, but it's a profound state. Anyway, I found out that a lot of people sometimes, you can know who you are about your own true self based off of what someone or how someone try to belittle you. People don't try to belittle something that is lower than them. People always try to belittle, not everybody, but the ones who are aware. The ones who are not aware and they feel that the superiority that you have supersedes theirs, their image. It's not to say that once you realize that in people that you're superior. No. It just goes to show that whatever you are doing is on the right path. And that is a deeper aspect of whenever you see someone put you down and then you start to feel down. Once you realize that this person's trying to thrust some form of negativity, that negativity is always tainted with fear from them. And if you can see that for what it is, you don't even have to resist it, because if you recognize that trait in people, it means that you have gone through that phase and overcome it. And because you've overcame it, you are able to see it, witness it, without becoming entangled in it, or without being drawn into the gravitational field of that kind of energy, that kind of mindset, that kind of envious, meandering conversation that these people try to whip on you just to pull you out of that state of groundedness and presence. That's essentially what it is. All it boils down to is fear. And in one essential respect, you're teaching them. They just don't know. But the reason why they got into that state is because before they were the one who thought they were superior than you. But once they sense a greater giant, two things naturally will happen. Is that one, they will try to tear you down, or two, they will try to work with you and work with that energy because they're inspired. But there are people who think that they are already in a state of superiority above you. But when they truly start to gather the measure of your essence, the measure of your character, your spirit, your pull, your push and your pull, it can create envy in people and jealousy. And once you learn to become aware of that trait in people, then there's no way that you can become envious of them. Because you know that being envious of someone doesn't feel good. But when someone starts to envy something within you, it means that whatever you have is so valuable that they will create the expense of giving away their energy to you. And it's not something for you to boast about when someone's giving you that form of energy. It's essentially realizing that you have disturbed a kind of cycle of low energy, of negativity. You disturbed it because your frequency went up. The frequency, the vibratory energy that surrounds who you are as a being, it went up. And thus, because your energy goes up, it means that it has disturbed the energetic narrative of the other person. Thus, subconsciously, they know that the state that you're in is valuable, and that the state that you are in is teaching them to come up. But they want to be the one to bring you up and not the other way around. It's a trick of the ego. An ego that seeks its sense of security, approval, and stature based off of the admiration of someone else's energy. It's cunning. It will play the game of great helper, great mentor. And it harkens off after a form of leadership persona. It projects itself in the environment as, I am super capable, follow me. There's a difference with that and confidence. True confidence doesn't necessarily have to project itself. It doesn't force on the ideology that I should be followed. No. It be, and people naturally follows it. It's almost as a form of entrainment in such an uplifting way and such an evolving way that everyone around you, notice the truth. You don't have to force anything. Just watch, and then an intuitive behavior will come forth. You don't have to fight with anything. Because every single thing is just an unnecessary inner battle. Or, if I may say, an unnecessary to a necessary battle. It's unnecessary because the battle, it doesn't serve any of external purpose out here. But it is valuable and it is necessary because it forces you into knowing who you really are. And nothing out here in the external world cannot be truly established of something of value other than when you realize who you are. Once you realize that, then what else out here becomes your nature? In other words, things of high success will become attracted to you. People will innately follow you. People will talk to you and even give you information that is supplementary to your journey on that path of self-awareness and self-development. Everything is energy. What you focus on, you become. What you become, you pull towards you. Ask yourself the question, if the world should look at a personality within you that will guarantee success, what will that personality be? And what would you do to become it? What does it take to become it? Once you can ask yourself that question, things out of thin air will just start to reveal itself to you. Intuitive action becomes the norm. Nothing phases you in the way where you have to seek your sense of self out of it. Because eventually everything becomes diluted into nothing. Everything. So there's no need to take everything so seriously. Just watch and ask yourself the question, whatever affect me, the emotion that it produces, would that be an emotion that you choose? Or would that be an emotion that you would just let go? Does it feel healthy within you? If it is, or if it isn't, you know what to do. And do the action, full stop. No in-between thinking. No post-premeditated action. Now, how would you know what behavior you should demonstrate when you're in that state? When you're not being taught about what to do? How would you know? Everything has its opposite. If you find that it's something that you don't really want to do or doesn't feel good within you when you're acting it out, don't partake in it. Thus, you become a natural leader. You choose to take another path. And thus, in that regard, you are a healer. You're not easily pushed or pulled by anything, by nobody's agenda or their circumstance, or the way they think, or the way that they think you should think. Know who you are. And you can know it in many situations, and even different aspects of yourself, because they are parts of yourself that splits off. You can center yourself and turn it into a huge, profound level of wholesomeness. And that is profound. It's like success, wealth, in its deepest core. You feel it as life beaming from a central aura, a central stage within you. And that is also compassion. That's true self-compassion in its ultimate state. And through it all, the overarching message right here is learn to be still. Learn to center yourself in the state that you're in, to center yourself in the reality of now, right now, to the point where you can feel the energy in your body and go deep within it. That is the instructor. That is the creator in you. That's your love, your light, your sword, your shield, your protector. Every single aspect of that state within you. When you learn to be still, it will give you the answer to everything without even reading a textbook. Trust me. Take this moment and start paying attention to some trivial things. Take a day or two, and whenever you climb a step, pay attention to every single footstep. Pay attention to the activation of each muscle and each leg. Move deeply into the process of you breathing. Feel it. And that will bring you and anchor you into a state to which you realize that you were in a world that you've desired all along, but you were just not centering yourself in that state. Anything can take you there. Suffering, chaos, deep beauty, deep joy. Once you train yourself to stay within it and be present in it, be there fully. No inner negativity. And all the contents in your mind that's just projecting itself. Oh, you should do this because it's going to make you look like an idiot, or it's going to make you feel a certain way. All of that behave just like a commercial whenever you watch a movie. When you watch a movie and out of the blue, the commercial just pops in because it needs your attention. It needs you to display this action through what it is projecting. It needs you to feel a certain way. Everything in this world that it's seeking profit because it wants to make you feel a certain way, put you into a state to cajole your behavior. People are doing that, commercials are doing that, everything, even in your workplace. And it pulls you along like a wild river, and it creates noise in your head, inner monologues that never stops, and you beat yourself up. But I can tell you, once you start beating yourself up, that's a sign that it's time to come back to yourself. Because you're not being the real you. Center yourself. Know the peace inside of you. Don't seek to create an identity out of what you're experiencing. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm this bad person, or I'm this tough person, or I have a degree, so I'm an expert in this area, so that this person cannot speak to me a certain way. Don't create no identity around that. Because when you hit in your latter years, when you get old, and none of that matters. None of the degree, none of that matters. None of it matters. But once you get to an old age, and you've outlived and let's say if you get all that you wanted, what then? When you don't have the strength and the biological strength to run, jump, and prance as how you once do, what then? What are you left with? You're going to have to accept the capacity and the state of being still and being at one with yourself, because that's all there is. Being at one with yourself, whatever the situation is, whether you're incredibly wealthy, rich, whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, upper middle class, it doesn't matter. All that matters is, can you be at perfect peace with yourself despite the situation out here? There are always going to be people and things that challenges you. Always. There's no need to create a problem out of it. You deal with it. You deal with it in a state where it shows that you've learned the negative side of that. Thus, you accept both the good and the bad of that situation and of that state. And once you accept it, there's always space within you that just let all that negativity and positivity just flows and goes right through. Nothing is hitting a brick wall within you, where you have to grab and mold it and hide it and suppress it and create an identity of, I'm a loser, or I'm this rich person. No need for that. No need. No need for it. Because when you become wealthy, especially, and you're living in a lovely home, all this space, and you have everything that you have craved in your entire life, what then? and there's nothing else for you to strive towards, what then? What do you do? What do you do? What are you left with? At some point, you're going to get tired of all of that stuff. At some point, you're going to get tired of the car outside. At some point, you're going to have to you're going to have to accept the fact that, look, all of this thing is getting boring. Well, once you can accept the state that you're in, both the negative and the positive, everything becomes the right peace. The right peace that you need every single moment. And I mean the right peace of moment that you need. Because all of that is just going to reveal you to you. And that is true strength. Until then, we'll talk.